Let me once more welcome you to this website and to thank you for all the contributions to the site. There have been a lot of questions. Some have been nice, some have not been nice. Some have used some languages that are not acceptable, but we have chosen to ignore such persons. My appeal is that people should just go direct and ask their questions. There's no need to be abusive. There's no need to be confrontational. We are all Deltans, and it is in our interest, collective interest, that we use acceptable language in asking our questions. Secondly, let me also thank all of you that sent goodwill messages on my birthday. And all the prayers, God seemed to have answered them. I want to thank you. And I also wish that at your birthday, God will also bless you in Jesus' name. Having said that, let me go straight to the questions that have been asked. The first is from Abel Ogbeni. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Abel said, "Sir, with due respect, I want to tell you that we, the beneficiaries of the Youth Empowerment Through Agriculture, that is YETA, have not been paid our benefits. We've been at home for close to 7 months now. Please, sir, I'll be pleased if the state government can look into our case. Thank you, sir." I believe this was sent before something was done about this program, because I know as of today, many of the beneficiaries are already moving to their farms. Now, what usually happens is you are trained. After the training, during the training, sites are identified for your farms, either as individual farms or as cluster farms. And once the sites are identified, we now construct the basic infrastructure for the farm, and that is the one that actually delays the process. So it is after the basic infrastructure we now move you to the farms. We've had some issues with some communities on these farms. Some communities give out lands. Sometimes they want some heavy compensation for the land, and that has given us some problems. We want to appeal to communities that this land should be given, because these farmers are your children. They are entitled to some of this land, so please don't put so much burden on us while trying to acquire this land for the farmers. For those communities that have not given us any problem at all, I want to thank them. But Abel, I'm sure by now something has already been done about this your issue. The second question is from Eduvier Donald. Eduvier Donald, you are saying, Your Excellency, we are in support of your return to the State House. Thank you very much for that. But I want to use this medium to ask this. How can Deltans running their first degrees here in Europe benefit from your scholarship and bursary scheme? Unfortunately, the bursary scheme is not for students outside Nigeria. The bursary scheme is for students within Nigeria. But as for the scholarship scheme, we advertise the scholarship each time it is due. And whether you're in Nigeria or you're outside Nigeria, you can put in for the scholarship. There are various categories of scholarship. There's the one for the first class. That one is automatic. Once you get the first class, you get the scholarship. Of course, the other one is where you have to do some exam and you must meet some minimum standard. But Eduvier, I guess you have a lot of people back home. Let them just be on the watch out for the adverts and you put in. And the advert is also usually on our website. That is the Delta State government website. Just be checking so that you put in. Thank you very much, Eduvier, and I wish you good luck as you study. We also have a question from Peter Iroro. Peter, happy birthday, sir. Thank you very much, Peter. I want to use this medium to ask if there is a directive to DBS not to broadcast activities and adverts of your position. I do believe one of the tenets of democracy is an effective position where the news media is an unbiased umpire. There's actually no directive to any media house not to broadcast the activities of your position. Anybody who wants his or activities put up in media houses, just approach them. The general manager or the management of those media houses are very receptive. Approach them if it requires paying fees, because I do pay fees even. He must know that I pay fees if my political activities are to be put on any of your media houses. If you pay the required fees, I'm sure they will take your activity. But I think one of the things they may not do is if what your position is a very nasty type that they are abusive, I don't think they take such adverts. But adverts promoting anybody who wants to run for any office in Delta, I believe that they are acceptable. But I also believe that such people have not been bold enough to approach such media houses. They can do so, and I'm sure they will be given the rights to air their views. The other question is from Benny Okene. Good day, Your Excellency. Kindly permit me to draw your attention to a crime that is gradually growing in Warri and environs. The rising rate of kidnap needs to be curbed speedily. I agree with you. Sir, being the #1 citizen of the state and the Chief Security Officer, I, on behalf of fellow Deltas, appeal to your good self to instruct the Commissioner of Police on this rising crime, knowing that anything that gets to Warri grows without limits, to devise a solid means to curb this ugly menace. Sir, trusting that your love for Delta State and Deltas will motivate you to drive in this ugly menace from our society. Benny, I quite agree with you, and we're also already doing something about this. If you recall, we put up a combined team of the Army, the Police, the SSS, the Navy, the Air Force, combined team to do a show of force around the state, which they did some 3 weeks ago. And this team has been very effective. We have been very, we've been able to rescue and even arrest some of these kidnappers. Today we have about over 80 suspected kidnappers in our custody. We are charging them to court, and of course, in court, we are appealing to the judges to handle the cases speedily. Now, what we also require is information. We want to appeal to members of the public to give out information of suspected kidnappers, their hideouts as much as possible. Because collectively, we can deal with this crime. But it's only when you give us information that we're able to deal with it. But I want to assure you that this combined team has been very effective, and the rates are reducing. And I can tell you that the rate of kidnapping is one of the lowest in Niger Delta from Delta State because of our proactive action. In the Warri axis, in the Asapa axis, we'll be very proactive. Some of these criminals come from outside the state to come and carry out this crime, but we are trying to block our borders as much as possible. So be rest assured that we are committed to protecting the lives and properties of citizens, whether in Warri or any other part of the state. The next question is from Uchenna George Nkenacho. Uchenna George Nkenacho. Your Excellency, with due respect, sir, I and the entire people of Ugbodu in the Nyocha North local government would like to understand the rationale behind the construction of the road from Iseluku to Nichoku, only for it to stop at the entrance to the Ugbodu village. This baffles us all because of the effects on the road as a result of erosion. It should not stop at before your village. I will ask the Commissioner for Works to look into this issue. Also, because Ugbodu stands as a boundary town between Delta and Edo states, would it have been a good opportunity for the administration to showcase to those on the Edo state part of the boundary some of the advantages of being a Delta? Yes, I agree with you. Like I said, we'll look into it. Equally, to the rural electricity street lighting project was also made to terminate at Onichoku, thus avoiding Ugbodu. Sorry about that, Uchenna, who both the Ministry of Works and the Ministry of Power and Energy will look at these two issues. Ugbodu people they are deltas and they are entitled to what every other delta enjoys. And lastly, we have a question from John Sapo. Sir, when are we going to get a dual carriageway in Sapele? Thank you very much, John. I'm happy that somebody's request for a dual carriageway in Sapele. We are thought of dualizing the Okwe road, but we looked at the cost. Now, the problem we have with dualizing many of our roads in the urban areas is that of compensation. We looked at the cost for the compensation on Okwe road because most of the houses in Okwe road are very close to the road. So to be able to dualize the road, you have to destroy a lot of houses, and this is not cheap at all. So when our finances improve, we will definitely get a road dualized in Sapele. So on that note, I want to thank all of you that have contributed once more, and I want to assure you that will continue to get to you through this medium as often as is possible.